Hello and welcome to Cuisine Africana. This week, I'm your host, Lilian Okazi. Now today, we're going to be making something really interesting and educative, and it's going to be from the eastern part of Nigeria. After the break, I'm going to introduce you to our guest for the week and our meal. Do stay tuned. You're welcome back. Now this week, like I told you, we're going to have something really interesting. And taking us on this amazing kitchen ride is the ever-blazing and beautiful-looking Vivian's Cuisine. And she's going to be taking us to her kitchen. Hello, Vivian.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Same here.
I've logged for this meeting, you know.
But you have no idea. You're welcome to Cuisine Africana.
Thank you so much.
So I've already told my people at home that you're going to be preparing something interesting for us. So what do you have for us this week?
We're going to be preparing oha soup.
I love oha soup, so
forgive me, I don't know the English name, and I'm sure you don't either.
This is oha soup. It is our native.
And we are going to call them their native names.
Yes, we don't do English on this program.
Yes, hence the name Cuisine African.
So let's
okay.
see. What are the ingredients?
Let me take you through the trip of the ingredients. Now this is oha leaf.
Okay.
This is oziza.
Okay.
To go with it. Now this is red oil. I'm sure you know it's essential for all soup.
For all soup.
In Nigeria, we are not dealing with Korea that do them white. No. Now this is cocoyam. The truth is there are several thickeners that you can use, ranging from flour, ofo, achi, what else again?
I know of corn flour.
Yes, corn flour, yeah. Oats to blow your mind. Yes, I actually do that.
African dishes.
I'm telling you, sometimes you run out of stock of this. But come on, we are Nigerians. We always have a way of,
turning things
around. Now this is fresh pepper. This is goat meat. Remember, you can use any meat. I'm sure you know that.
Yes.
You can use ram, you can use chicken, you can use beef. But we are sticking to goat meat. This is dried fish, more like the catfish, dried. Now this is pomo. I don't know the English name. You can call it cow skin. Now this is stockfish. We are talking about, this dish basically is associated with southern eastern part of Nigeria. I know we don't joke with our stockfish.
Stockfish gives it that.
And this is cod. Perhaps you know stockfish. This is cod.
Cod?
Whatever. Just process it when you're out.
Okay.
Now this is onion, our cube, salt, crayfish. And then water. Another thing, I'm very peculiar with my measurements, I realize that most Nigerians, we cook with our instincts. Yes, most people do. What we do, you just take a pinch of salt, you taste, a pinch of this, you taste. Now, I deal with a lot of measuring cups. Now, when I want to cook one bunch of oha, I don't know who gave them the idea to always tie this quantity, but whatever, I'm sure you grew up to.
I knew that.
Exactly. Now, to prepare one bunch, usually I use 1 liter. And now this cup gives you exactly 1. Now with this, the one I want to use my oil, 1 cooking spoonful. Now you find out with all this, you'll be able to arrive at same taste when you want to repeat same meal.
No, but then again, this is you being nice. They don't even care.
And the truth is, it comes out amazing. Don't get me wrong about cooking with our instinct. It has always worked,
Because I know my mom should just
spoil the water. And another thing, sometimes the cocoyam might be too thick, and there'll be need to drop more water. So there's no hard and fast rule to it. Just like you said, all boils down to instinct. But this is more like a guideline.
Okay, so let's get started.
It's okay. The first thing to do is to boil our cocoyam, because that takes a while to cook. Yes. With a little bit of water. That's like half a liter.
Half a liter.
Yes. Now, you know, usually when we buy this, they come in very sandy mode.
Very sandy.
So to save time, I've done thorough washing of it. Thorough washing. So just put it, and bear in mind, you're not adding any salt or whatever. Afterwards, you close it and allow it to cook for the next 10-15 minutes.
Okay, it's cocoyam, and I believe it doesn't take time to cook.
No, it doesn't. Okay. Not even with gas. 10 minutes. Then while that is cooking, all thanks to gas, that has made our cooking
easier,
much easier. Now we'll put our meat.
Okay.
It's very important that we make people understand that these things have to be washed with salt. Can I get the salt there, please? Yes. Do you know the essence of washing with salt?
To remove the sand.
Aside the sand, you find out flies perch on these things. A lot.
Yeah.
So try to wash with salt. Actually, don't cook anything for my mom without even fruits.
No, I wash my meat
without washing them with salt.
Vegetables with salt. Because even for the vegetables, you realize that the sand settles underneath.
Exactly. So here we go. I don't usually put water before putting my meat. This is to allow the meat to rise thoroughly.
And bring its own water
out. Okay, you can set that aside. Another thing I'm addicted to, there is no hard and fast rule to this, is Cameroon pepper.
Yeah, it has a
way
nice
of bringing out its flavor. So I put a little bit of it. So I'm obsessed with measurement. I'm sure you can see my measurement spoon for my for my pepper. Now while this is cooking, we'll add our stockfish. This will have to go in.
Without the water still?
No. I just let's say 5-10 minutes. As you can see, it's already rising.
Okay.
So here, while I think this is actually much for the soup, you can use just this one. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think it requires a little bit of water now. As you can see, it has risen. And even now, there's still water in it.
No, it generates its own water.
Exactly. A little bit. Sorry. Then we'll start this. The stockfish, like I said, you can use smoked fish. I'm sure you know.
No, stockfish for oha soup. Its own flavor. I know my grandma doesn't prepare this without stockfish.
Okay. Because of how funny this pot can get, so we don't get choky. That's why it's African kitchen. You cough through when cooking it. So now we have to add onions.
Okay.
Add a little bit of onions. Cooking with onions. Usually, I steam my meat with onion.
No, of course.
Yeah, I do.
Now, I know some people believe you don't use onion for soup.
Okay.
Especially African dishes, you don't use onion.
But I usually do, you know.
Onions just for the meat.
Exactly, just for the meat. Onions have a way of bringing out its own additional flavor. Coupled with the fact I heard it has so much nutritional benefits. Okay, this part is okay. Then Maggi cube. Maggi cube, we use 4 because I usually dissolve
the onion.
And a pinch of salt. You allow it to cook.
So I can see 1 liter of water is gone.
It is.
Okay.
So while we're on it, we can start picking the oha leaves. You know, there are a lot of speculations surrounding oha leaf. Some say things like, you don't use knife, it will turn black.
It will turn bitter.
And you know, as funny as it sounds, that's the position.
Is it true?
I'm telling you.
Have you tried it?
I've tried it. Just like when someone says, if you want to remove the oha, you don't remove it together with the head, like they will call it. Like, do you know what it does? It makes the soup turn black. And I've tried it. Funny enough, it did. After cooking for a while, I find out 2-3 hours, the surface will no longer have that greenish. So when you pick, you remove the head. But this is the way to make it faster. Don't be scared.
Wow.
You pick as many as possible.
Yeah.
Then you drag it out. That's all. And while we are at it,
use your hand
to shred it.
Okay. So I didn't know about the head on. I knew about not using knife to slice.
That's why I said nobody should be so dogmatic about cooking methodology.
Yeah.
The truth is that we all grew from different homes, you know, met diverse methodologies of cooking. So why will you want to superimpose what you believe in? Now, why we are this, don't lose track of the meat. I have issues with burnt food. Now, can you see how this meat has risen? Simply because we prepared it without adding water. I'm sure you know it wasn't this size when we put it.
Wow.
So you find out all these things are... What's the ideal word I should use now?
It's just your style.
Help me.
Everyone has their own method and style.
And let's remind our viewers that we are not saying there is a hard and fast rule as to the methodology of cooking. We are just saying embrace the new one.
Make it easier
for yourself, you know. Let's check the cocoyam. I'm sure you know the moment food burns, it kills the taste inside, no matter how much you try to amend it. Remember what I told you about how sandy and muddy? I don't know. Do you know how they grow this cocoyam? Any idea?
Actually, it's like carrots. The fruits are underneath.
Okay, it makes sense now.
Yes, so
more like it's usually pulled out.
Yes, it's just like yam and cassava and the rest. So when they bring it out, they wash it, but they don't wash it well. So the way you see it in the market, they've actually washed it.
By their definition of washing.
It's so muddy that's how best they can wash it.
You're making headway, I'm sure. Now to check if the cocoyam is ready, you have a very sensitive skin. Have I mentioned that part?
Oh, no.
Now you find out it took this fork a while to pierce it, but it's almost there. It's a very sensitive skin. Let me show you something. You see this? This is, do you know what did this to me? Vapor from cooking pot.
Oh, no, it happens a lot.
And I'm like, God, is this how I'm going to do the cooking thing?
Another question.
So I don't venture anything without either my gloves or the napkin.
Some people just open.
No, my mom does, trust me. Don't joke with her. Don't joke with her.
Open the pot and I'll be like, it's not hot.
Don't joke with her. Let's see our meat. Need to stir it because this is glass pot. I'm sure you know glass pots easily by the side. Exactly. So what I do, especially when you're cooking stew, easily burn by the side. Another habit I have is when I'm cooking, I don't stay away from my kitchen.
No.
I don't combine it with movie or combine it.
No, you get too distracted.
You get too distracted. I think our meat need a little bit of water. Because you know it's goat meat. As we are dealing with beef right now.
Goat meat, no, I feel from my experiments,
just a little bit.
A lot.
Okay.
From my experiment and experience, I realized the male goat is actually easier to cook.
That was an excellent discovery. Let me tell you, I learned it all thanks to my mom, but only the hard way. There was a day I had an order for 200 persons, all through goat meat. Who betide me, and I went to buy the whole of it now.
No, it will cook.
For all through the night, we were cooking goat meat.
It will cook.
And I'm sure you can imagine the mental picture of serving people. Strong meat. Nothing kills business like that. You see what we talked about? There is water in our meat, but the side is burning. That's one very funny thing. That's why our parents still fall back to the normal local pots. But come on, we have to move with the trend. We move with the trend because you find that most people like, you're still dealing with this. When you try to explain to them, they won't understand. So I try to stir the side to remove the burnt part so it doesn't stay there for long and then make a mess of the pot. As you can see, this thing is softening up. Then by the time we are cooking we add oil, add water, the meat stock and everything for the soup, it will soften up more. How many of us really do these things kitted up? No, we don't. So I don't really like when people show off what they are. Now at this stage, you know, usually the cow skin is not usually strong.
Yeah.
So I usually put it when the meat is almost ready.
Okay.
So at the stock hood.
So how do you know the meat is almost ready?
Now we'll puncture it with fork. Like we say, we usually cook with our instinct.
Oh, it's actually soft.
You see it? We usually cook with our instinct. But you know one funny thing with goat meat? The beef in it can be soft, but the skin. That's why when I was buying, I was conscious of buying more of the beef. So when you chew it and the skin is soft, you swallow it. Now this is soft. Now we'll wash, because sometimes there will be sand in between. I can be very crazy with sand, and I'm sure you know how much sand can make a mess of soup. I use salt in between, but I'll have to run it through with a knife. Usually, assuming I have iron sponge, and I'm sure you're familiar with that.
It's easier.
Yes, I use iron sponge to run it through. If there's anything I've succeeded in doing during my a small get together, that can I cook for him, since he's not really familiar with can I have the chopboard, since he's not really familiar with the place. I said fine, you just give me money, let me cook it. And my dear, behold, he gave me 50,000 naira to do the cooking. And I'm sure you know, if you're familiar with this, you know that to cook doesn't really cost much.
Really cost much. Just have the right
ingredients. Now this is the dry fish. Usually when I want to use dry fish, I debone it.
Okay.
I have issues with bone as a person. I don't like bone. My hatred for bone goes so deep that I don't even eat ice fish bone.
Wow.
Is that serious?
That one is really nice.
So I heard.
You should try it.
So I heard. I don't like it at all. So usually I debone this. I'm sure you know this is a very tricky bone that can.
It's good. You might even miss some.
I'm telling you. You see how they hang in here? So I try to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know.
But don't do it in the presence of my mom.
No, they like the bone.
They like the bone.
They like the bone. I don't know if it adds some special ingredients.
Doesn't add, is what they is the tray they grill with.
No,
that they don't want to leave.
My mom would even take the bone and sun it, then grind it and say this is also
that fish. Is nice. Have you tried that?
No.
Honey, do.
I have not.
Very nice. But you're like, come on, how much is crayfish this too much? When are we going to just use normal crayfish? But come on. We are glad we have them, you know.
Do you understand?
Yeah. So we can add this to it. Remember, they are thoroughly washed.
Yeah.
Rather than keeping this lying dirty, all we need to do is rinse it off. Take it back to the original position. Then here we are. We'll put this. I'm very particular about my meal being very tasty. Can we get one cube? Just one, so we could sprinkle it on it. Just one. So that it goes into the cow skin and the head of fish. Then a little bit of water, because the side is burning. Now imagine what happens when you're cooking and you're far away from your kitchen.
It will burn.
Are you familiar with this? When you're cooking, after putting Maggi, you rinse your hand. That's not nice.
But it's Africa.
But it's Africa. Who are we? We see
and then you'll be like, after your hand is clean, you'll be cooking soon.
It's not nice. Then we cover the pot, go back to our olive, which will soon be through it. It's actually costs nothing to be you. It's less stressful being you. So do you see what just happened?
It just went in.
Which means our cocoyam is ready. But there's nothing. So this is almost ready.
So how many minutes more do we have for this to cook?
Give and take, say 1 minute, 2 minutes. Everything is ready, basically, just to get the leaves ready.
Okay guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the program because I'm actually having fun. Vivian is amazing. So while we're waiting for the meat to get ready and we're still getting done with this, we're going to go on a really quick break. When we get back, Cuisine Africana. You're welcome back. And just in case you just joined us, this is Cuisine Africana and we're preparing our soup. Just in case you missed, we're already halfway through, the meat is ready, we're getting the oha leaf ready, so let's get back to it. we?
Okay, the meat is ready. So what next is to put the quantity of water that will produce our soup. Exactly.
There's no stress.
There is no stress at all. So like I said, we are going to be using 1 liter of water. As you can see, the measurement is exactly 1 liter. Just put it in. Stir to curb the burning. Now, while this is going on, what do you think is the next thing we should be doing? So we get our cocoyam. Don't mind me and what I'm using. I'm trying to be as comfortable as possible. When I use the gloves, it sort of slows my movement down. Then here, remember we say this is African kitchen, so we're doing it the real local way. So we'll use mortar for this. Just get the mortar here. So we'll pound it. Next thing we do is to put it right inside that is all. Okay, you can use that. I usually have towels scattered all over. It has mixed. I'm sure you can see it. Now there's no hard and fast rule as to how you put your cocoyam, but I for one prefer to mash my a little bit. After doing this, you cover it and allow the cocoyam to dissolve and thicken. Yes. While it's dissolving, that's why we have enough water. While it's dissolving, the water will still be sufficient. You see what's happening?
It's getting thick.
And I don't know if you notice, the oil we use is a definition of perfection. It's not clothing on top of it, and we use good oil. My mom actually got it from the village.
That's the only way you get better oil.
From the village. So as you can see, it's thickening up, and we still have. Exactly. So we allow it to dissolve, and it's not burning. No, it's not. Then while this is cooking, we wash. You know, you have to wash this. These things came from the market. You have to wash them too. Yes, that's okay. See the way I'm removing it? So whichever sand that is there goes underneath. And where I grew up from, my dear, you don't waste for any reason. You pack the list of it. Remember, the sand is underneath, so when I'm pouring out, I hope you can see the sand we have here. And I don't just wash once, I wash twice. We are trying to discourage Nigerians from cooking carelessly. So I believe whatever is worth doing is worth doing well, not even when food is involved.
Little mistakes can ruin your meal.
Exactly.
And people don't realize that.
You can see our soup is due for stirring. It has thickened up, though we still have a little bit of cocoyam to dissolve in it. Our soup is actually looking very rich.
It's very, it looks very
It doesn't really have to cost so much to have a good meal. Just being little quantity here and there.
That's it.
Okay, here. So I just pour this here. Then allow them to sieve out water. At this stage now, we'll put our pounded fresh pepper. It should be in the mortar there. Okay, this way. Put it. You know, this thing is called fresh pepper, meaning you have to cook. Only if maybe you're doing all these maybe if you're doing all this, what is this called? Maybe sauce, peppered meal, just. Do football pitch, the crayfish is here. Football pitch cake, Jesse, and I'm like, wow. I think I'm just okay with whenever I want to eat wheat bread, I will make it.
Thickness is okay.
See what we have here.
Yes, and if we add more water in this,
it won't go. Now, when we add the leaf, it will thicken it.
Yes. And then when it gets cold, it still thickens up.
And usually I start with my uziza leaf.
Why?
You know why? Because uziza leaf is a bit harder than the, what is it called? It's a bit harder than the oha leaf. Then a little bit. You add more of the uziza leaf.
Sliced.
Yes, sliced this time around, but not so tiny.
Almost like okazi.
Then this is the end game here.
The oha
leaf.
Hence the name of the soup.
Please. For it to have its own taste. Sprinkle crayfish on it. Maybe a spoon or two.
Oha soup is getting, my God.
So I think you will have to do the tasting this time around. Sorry.
How did you do this without tasting?
I don't taste. I don't know why. I don't. And you find out everything is proportionate. Now, like I said, I don't cook my oha leaf, my ugu leaf, whatever. You know why? Because I like it fresh. The moment this goes in, cover, my gas is off.
Voila! So our oha soup is ready.
And our hot soup is ready.
Alright guys, our oha soup is ready, and now we're about to go to my favorite part of the show, the dining. So I'm going to taste it and I'll tell you how it is. Till then, we're going to go on a really short break, and when we get back, I will have a taste of the oha soup.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome back, and just in case you just joined us, this is Cuisine Africana, and this week we made oha soup. And I must confess, it looks really beautiful. The aroma is amazing. I can't wait to dig in. Steve, please, let me stop talking. Okay. I must say, this is really amazing. As in, I don't know how she cooks without tasting though. But with this, we've come to the end of Cuisine Africana for this week. And I'm going to see you again, same time, same station next week. Goodbye.
Okay, time to beautify our dish. I'm sure you know, aside cooking, we equally try to plate a very beautiful dish.